So you have either just started the game up, been playing for a good while, or you're ready to start a new character. Well, in this handy guide we hope to give you all the help you need to survive the newly discovered wasteland of the Commonwealth. In part 1, we will be covering the basics, such as your character's starting stats, essential early game perks, certain locations, and items of interest. Welcome to VGU's Wasteland Survival Guide, Part 1, The Balanced Start. Thanks to the updated character creation options, you can literally make your man or woman the most gorgeous, ugly, or even a famous lookalike survivor in the Commonwealth. And once you've had fun with this, and you're over and done with, you can start exploring your suburban home, and you will get to interact with a Vault-Tec representative however you please. At some point during this conversation, you'll be able to name your character, as well as choose his or her special stats. Now these are the fundamental statistics that will really govern your character's skill set, at least early on. Now it is key to note here that you can use the 21 points to your heart's content. There is no definitive way of starting out your character. With that said, however, here is a good build that we believe to be the most balanced start for the game, as it will give you access to certain perks right off the bat, as well as leave your build open to multiple playstyles and weapon preferences. Let's take a look and deconstruct the build one step at a time. First, we are putting our strength stat at 4. Strength covers you for your physical attacks with unarmed and melee weapons, as well as helping you carry more loot. It isn't a major stat for us, but we put 4 points here to assist with picking up a lot of junk, as well as helping with damage should we wish to dabble with hand-to-hand combat. Perception we set to 4. Perception covers your range of detecting enemies, as well as giving you perks to assist with lockpicking and rifle damage. We want enough points here so that we can go for those rifle damage bonuses down the line if we want to. This build also focuses more on lockpicking, so having enough points to rank that up is essential. Endurance to 5. Endurance gives you more health to play with when it comes to actually getting in a fight. The reason why we want to balance this out at 5 is simple: swimming and walking in water without taking radiation damage. You will constantly be popping vital rad away in the early game without this perk. Trust me, you can thank me later. Charisma to 6. Debatably next to endurance, the best special stat in Fallout 4, as it can help you get more caps, pass dialogue checks, and help you level up that little bit faster. It also gives you perks to assist with your settlement builds, which is why we put 6 points here. Local leader is essential for us to get trade routes and a steady supply of adhesive with vegetable starch. Intelligence at 3. We only need 3 points in here for the ability to craft weapon mods, and that's about it. We are not focusing on laser weapons, science, or hacking this time around, and this will mainly be a traditional ballistics weapon build. Consider switching these stats with the ones in perception if you want to go for the hacking route instead. Agility kept at 1. This is going to be our dump stat. Agility helps with speed and stealth, but why do we need stealth when we can just blast our way through everything? This will give you the perk that increases non-automatic handgun damage, which is up to you to go down, but is really handy early on with your 10mm and pipe pistols. If anyone out there is worried about not hitting enemies in VATS, don't worry. As much as this affects ability points and their regen rate, your VATS capabilities are mostly affected by the gunslinger and other similar perks. Luck at 5. Do not consider this a dump stat, it is way better than you think. Luck can affect a lot of passive events in the wasteland, but we are using it for one main reason: the Idiot Savant perk. This perk gives you a starting 3x EXP multiplier that will have a higher chance of triggering the lower your intelligence. If you are lucky to have it pop on a quest XP award, be prepared for an easy level up. It is great to get on any build with any intellect level, but we want it at this state so we can level up faster. We want this stat up a bit more to gain access to the bonus bottle caps and ammunition perks. You should only put points into these if and when you need to, but they are incredibly handy early on. Now, as soon as you come out of Vault 111 and you see the blasted wasteland ahead of you, be sure to look everywhere for precious junk. You may think this is a waste of inventory space for a moment, but trust me, Collecting junk is vital to becoming a powerful Wastelander. Get all you need, come down into your old town of Sanctuary Hills and look as houses have been completely wrecked and the street is littered with trees, busted street lamps and more. With all the houses looted, you may have found a good amount of bobby pins, and these are your lifeline for lockpicking, which, if you are following our optimal build, is what we are going to be focusing on over hacking. All the safes are novice ranks, so getting into them shouldn't be too hard. Be careful however, as one of them is booby-trapped with a makeshift explosive. Disarm this for some extra junk parts and you will be fine to carry on picking. Killing off all the flies, roaches and lockpicking all the novice locks in the area should either bring you close to or allow you to gain your first level. Upon leveling up, you can put your perk point into any perk that is flashing a star above it. We recommend either going for the gunslinger or local leader perks to start off with. This will either give you a nice damage increase for the early part of the game or a good start for when you get settlers inhabiting Sanctuary, which won't be that long away now. So what are we going to do now? Simple, rebuild Sanctuary, at least as much as we can with what we have. You don't need to make any huge houses or construction works just yet, just try to get the basics down. After saving the characters at Concord, Sturgis will inform you that you need 6 beds, a good water supply, food and defences. We however are going to complete this side quest before he even informs us, giving us some easy experience once the settlers move in. The 6 beds should be straightforward to make with all the junk you acquired and should be placed within the houses that are still standing. You can either dedicate one house to having all beds or split them up between the houses to make the town seem more natural. When it comes to water, you should be able to construct a water purifier which you can place in the river nearby. This will need power, so pop down a small generator here too, just so it can start working. Food is going to be the hardest thing early on, but if you found the melons and gourds early, then you're off to a good start. Place them somewhere close to each other to establish a farm and leave the rest for now. You will most likely find more food when in Concord or during the first Minutemen quest, which we will get to later. As for defences, you can do this about 2 ways. First is to place defensive barricades at the river of your settlement or concentrate them around the bridge. Where you put them is up to you, but these seem like the best locations. Don't worry about turrets at the moment, as you may not have enough to make a substantial defense setup for your base so far. With all of that done, you are now ready to head over to Concord and save Preston Garvey and the settlers. But before you do, be sure to check Red Rocket on your way down and meet up with Dogmeat. Your first proper companion is great at holding enemies for VATs, as well as finding enemies and items throughout your adventures. Whilst you're here, you can also find the workbench to establish a second settlement and start scrapping the stuff around the garage for your junk pile. Do not worry about building anything at the moment however, as we'll be creating a supply line later on to assist with more junk. Now there is one thing here that you may forget about on your first playthrough. Look at the terminal on the back of the garage and look through the logs. You will see information about a mole rat cave underneath your newly found settlement. This houses some more great loot to get early on, including a fully charged fusion core for power armor. Just head slightly southeast of the garage and you will see the hole going into the cave. If you wish to conserve ammo, make sure you're packing your trusty police baton. Grab your stuff, drop off the junk at the Red Rocket and head towards Concord. Now as you head up into the museum to help Preston Garvey against raiders, be sure to pick up any and all ammunition you can get. Also pick up as much armor as you can during this time. You will mostly find only leather or raider gear this early on, but anything will do to help you stay more durable. For these encounters, it is best to don a full set of leather gear over your vault suit for maximum protection against bullets and shells. So before you charge off to get the power armor and the minigun after talking to Preston and Sturgis, remember to check and loot all the corpses as well as the containers in the area. Also talk to Mama Murphy to learn that the dog's name is in fact Dogmeat and pass a charisma check to get a hint about the upcoming battle. Now remember to pick up the perception bobblehead from the desk in the room where all the setters are held up. Bobbleheads add either 1 point to a specific special stat, or they give us a perk related to the old skill system from Fallout 3, so keep an eye out for these guys. Now of course from here the world literally opens up for you, but we do have some handy areas that we recommend going to before heading straight to Diamond City in search for your son. First is Abernathy Farm, found southwest of Red Rocket. Go over to this farm and speak to Mr. Abernathy to receive a quest to regain his long-lost daughter's locket, stolen by raiders. This will take you to USAF satellite station Olivia, which is situated quite a distance east of Concord, but is also situated close to a few other areas that are great to go to early on. Abernathy Farm is also an unlockable settlement with quite a lot of space to work with, as well as a working Tato farm. Next is the Wicked Shipping Fleet Lockup, southwest of Abernathy Farm. Head over to this location if you are looking for armor, weapons and ammunition. This is a raider stronghold, so be prepared for a battle, as well as possible legendary spawns. Another reason to head over here is a set of power armor that one raider will jump into. The armor they have is randomized around your level, but most of the time it tends to be an almost complete set of T60 armor. Definitely worth picking up for your collection. Then we have the Drumlin Diner, which can be found southeast of Concord. If you want to give your charisma a test, then this is a great location early on to try it out. You can resolve an issue between a chem trader and the diner's owner to not just gain a nice bit of experience and caps, but also gain access to 2 traders right off the bat. Great if you wish to purchase some chems, ammo, armor or weapons early on. Southeast of Concord we have the Starlight Drive-In. This is an unlockable settlement that has quite a lot of junk laying around. Clear out the mole rats and set up a beacon to get it underway. Also, don't forget to search around the massive movie screen, as well as lockpick doors and safes for more loot, as well as a machete if you are doing a melee run. One other thing, when making this a settlement, use the scrap function on the radiation barrels in the pool of water in the middle of the drive-in. This will permanently get rid of the radiation emitted from that area, which makes the rest of your build much easier. Another interesting area is the Thicket Excavations, which is found east of Concord and southwest of the USAF satellite station Olivia. Come over here to find some caravans with some handy loot in them. You will also find a man who will give you a quest to dive into the water and disable 3 pumps. This should be easy to do, but you may want to bring some Rad-X and Rad-Away before jumping in. Do all this for some easy caps and experience early on, but come back later on in your playthrough to see this hole turned into a raider base, where you can fight your way to the bottom, receiving a lot of weapons, armor and ammunition along the way. And the last place we recommend checking out is 10 Pines Bluff, east of Concord and southeast of the USAF satellite station Olivia. Another settlement to recruit to the Minutemen. This one also has a substantial Tato farm to take advantage of, as well as some good space to make a nice build. Be mindful, however, when building in this area, and be sure to build defences on the east and west sides of the settlement, as they are the most prone to attack from mostly ghouls and super mutants. That isn't it for this settlement, however, as if you go down the hill to the east of the settlement, you will find a collapsed train that harbours another power armour frame with randomised armour on it. You will, however, need an advanced level hacking skill to unlock this armor, so mark it down and come back later if you're not ready yet. With all of that said, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of part 1 of our Wasteland Survival Guide. Next time we'll be covering all the companions that you can have on your team in the game. Until then, be sure to give us your survival tips in the comments below and enjoy your time exploring the vast Commonwealth in Fallout 4.